connection interruption there. Our Wi-Fi has been real spotty lately. So my apologies for that dropping out. Thankfully that particular broadcast was saved so I can upload these in 2 halves now, I guess, on YouTube. Let's see, let's pair one of these. Oh, never mind.
Jesus Christ!
Alright, get wrecked. Bald bastard didn't even stand a chance.
Better get moving.
Oh no, Marvin!
Marvin. Oh no. Damn it.
So now, remember earlier
I'll stop this, Lieutenant.
how I went through
Promise.
and boarded up all those windows? This is where it's going to come into use, because like, so right here, see there's a liquor, but since I'm moving slow, he can't hear me. And the problem always becomes that those zombies, not only do I got to deal with that liquor, not only do I got to deal with the zombies that are going to start pouring through all those windows, I got to worry about Mr. X. Here now, all I got to do is worry about Mr. X. I hear you.
This thing will die.
Look at this. Never stood a chance. I think I killed all the zombies in here. Yeah, I sure did. I thought I heard his footsteps. I guess not. You see, there it is. I hear him again. I don't know. Clearly, I'm going insane. Son of a bitch. Shit. Forgot to get the cog. Did I not grab the cog again? Oh, I did. I just left. See, no matter how many times you play through a game, no matter how much you familiarize yourself with, you're still going to fuck up every once in a while because you're so overly confident with how good you're doing. That you're still going to make small mistakes. I mean, there are some guys who are just that good who don't fuck up at all. And, you know, man, good on you, for sure. I still make it like that. I should have known that first cog. I should have placed it, let the cinematic play out, and grabbed it right back. Instead, I was so laser focused on getting through the section as fast as possible that I didn't stop to pull it back out. And that's unfortunately a symptom of speed runs. Like, sometimes you're so razor focused on running through the game as fast as possible that some of the intricacies of
Hope I don't have to write a report
completing
on
the
this.
game get, I don't want to say lost by the wayside, but, or forgotten even, but sometimes they get, I don't know, maybe I will say forgotten. I can't think of anything else to say there. Alright, so now we got that one. Examine. Got the electric part there. So now let's... That's too late. It's weird, usually Mr. X is stalking you something fierce through this area, so for him to not be stalking us right now is a little nerve-wracking. Love this music. Like, I like the music that the composing team came up with for the remake, but these songs lifted off of the original soundtrack are so moody and iconic that I almost never play with the remake soundtrack anymore. Again, not because it's bad, just because, well, I just like the old soundtrack better. I think it's more haunting and scary. I heard somebody screaming. I swear to God I did. Now comes another tricky part with these goddamn dogs. Depending on the day and how I'm feeling, there's two different strats I usually employ here. One, I just run straight through, don't stop long enough for them to attack me, and I dodge and strafe my fucking way into where I need to be. Or two, I just sit here and blast them. And you could go through and kill these zombies in the jail cells now. But once we solve this puzzle we're about to solve, and once we grab the key card, they're just gonna like repopulate in the area. So it makes, if you don't have an unlimited ammo weapon, it's literally just a waste of ammunition.
Explain the rumors about the orphanage. I just find it way too coincidental Umbrella's one of the benefactors.
You told me this interview was about the new scholarship Umbrella set up.
Come on, that nobody cares about that. They want to know about the G virus
Where did you hear about this?
and that big fucking sinkhole in the city, which, by the way, rumor has it goes straight to your underground lab. Now, are you gonna talk to me, or are you gonna...
This interview's over.
Sweet. So then you can come over here, find a
What are they
health
after?
spray. Now, yep, you see?
That's
Now the
not
zombies are going to start pouring out of the jail cell. You can either sit here, chew through them. Now, unless you have the chain gun. Oh shit, I forgot these zombies. Whether you have, like, the only reason, or, pardon me, the only reason I would suggest any other time going through the side here is because the only way to kill all these zombies is to do with an unlimited ammunition weapon. Otherwise, in either way, he still pops up. Oh, fuck! Bitch.
Damn it!
So more often than not, even if you kill all of them, you could have something happen. A random ass just jump out of the jail cell, even though you guys saw me like turn everything into burger meat. So more often than not, it's really there, go in the hallway, down Mr. X, or avoid it if you can, and then continue on to this point.
Man, this is getting old. Saving your ass, that's twice.
I didn't realize you were keeping score.
Look, this isn't a game. Nothing dies down here. I take it you have the key card.
Yeah.
I think I can honestly say
I was hoping you could explain what's on it.
that this game
Maybe.
is 110%
After I hear it.
the best remake of any video
Let's get
game
out of here.
I've ever played, hands down. Because this does what any great remake should do: is should take the key, the title, the core concept, and kind of run with the ball in its own direction. Now, like a lot of the same scenes and such, the story of this game, while hitting some familial beats from the older title and hitting the biggest nostalgia points most fans would have for this game, really largely goes in its own direction and kind of does its own thing. And that becomes even more evident when you get into the Resident Evil 3 remake.
Is that the intel?
Like, that game
Unfortunately, no.
really drives it home that it is out to
Well,
do its
what
own
exactly are
thing.
you
Like,
looking
it sets the major
More
plot
info
points where you
before we
play as
start
Jill
this
Valentine
mess.
trying to escape the city, and in that game you also have to defeat the Nemesis. And it takes place in the city where you're out in the open more often. So in those respects, it hits the
Road's
same
out.
key points of the original Resident Evil
Going
3.
through that gun shop
Everything
looks like
else
the
is
only way.
pretty much its own thing. It really tells almost a largely new story. It's more a reimagining than a remake. I'd say this is a remake because you still hit a lot of the familiar stuff that you're used to in the old game, just with a new fresh coat of paint and, you know, some new remixed elements.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
I said don't move.
I'm just passing
This
through.
is a particularly
Ask you
sad
to lower
scene.
that weapon.
I kill you. You're gonna turn around, go right back out the way you came in.
I think your daughter needs help, sir.
Tell me how to deal with my daughter.
Drop it.
No! Wait!
Step aside. We need to terminate her before she turns.
Terminate. That's my fucking daughter.
Yeah. Just let them be.
Ma? Sweetheart, I told you to stay put.
This is one of those instances where this game expands upon the original. Like in the original, Kendo is in the very opening of the game is one of the first characters you as a player interact with, and he gets like maybe a few lines of dialogue and then he's dead. He has absolutely no impact on the story whatsoever. And in these two remakes, this one and Resident Evil
Supposed to
3,
know something. How
his
did
character,
this happen?
while still not having a huge impact on the overall story and mythos, is greatly fleshed out and has a much more meaty story arc. Even though you only spend a few moments with him, like the actor and the conveys the performance, the writing, it just so much more expressive and brings such life into a character that could have easily just been written off like he was in the original game. So much. Like, it's easy to lose the humanity of a game like this where you're fighting like devil dogs and tentacled creatures and these veiny flesh-melting monsters, and then you have a scene like this that reminds of the human cost of something like this were to happen. So it really brings everything back down to earth. And what's funny is, a few minutes after this, you go down to an underground lab and you fight a giant fucking
It's one thing
alligator.
to keep the truth
So
out of
it's
me.
just the way that it
Why him?
bobs and weaves through like the lower, more melancholy sadness of a zombie
wanna find out what's
apocalypse to the
happening.
more outrageous
And stop
pulpy
whoever's
moments.
behind it.
It's just really,
Helping
really
people like
expertly
them?
done.
That's why I joined the force.
My mission is to take down Umbrella's entire operation. We may not make it out.
Whatever it takes to save this city. Count me in.
There are pharmaceutical companies secretly. They have a virus. It turns people into indestructible monsters.
That explains the horrible things I've seen.
And that's why I'm looking for Annette Birkin. She's the one at Umbrella responsible for unleashing the virus. I'm going to bring it down. This is how we get to it.
Based on what you've said, the sewer seems fitting.
Well said. After you.
Gee, thanks. Can't imagine a real scientist being down here.
According to HQ,
Like, this story just took a super dark turn.
Come on.
Seeing like
Sewers are run by the
what,
city.
seeing
How could
you don't
they
really
have a
see it. You just hear the
facility
after
without the
effects with the
authorities
whole tragic nature of Kendo and his daughter being infected with the zombie virus, and it's a really somber, dark
That
moment.
earthquake?
And now we're about to head into like the totally opposite,
What the hell?
spectrum of fighting drastically different from the tone of what we just experienced, but that's, like I was saying earlier, one of the things I love about this game is that it can breathlessly alternate between
Again?
stone cold seriousness and out of this world
No chance. You're stuck with me in the
pulpiness.
end. Ugh. You sure this is the right way?
Unfortunately.
Wait there.
Leon! Get out of there!
This really isn't a fight so much as it's you gotta run away from this gigantic mutant alligator.
Shit!
Leon's one-liner coming up here in a few seconds is one of my favorite one-liners in the game, in the series. And it's such a throwaway line, and it's not really something super impactful or even necessarily well written, but the timing of it. This line he says right here.
Chew on that, you overgrown son of a bitch.
It's such a great line, and again, it's not that it's like, you know, Faustian in its well-written nature, but it's timed perfectly and it's well read and it just hits right when it needs to hit, and it just the pulpiness, like I hate to keep using that word, but it's true. It just feels so perfect. Although once we get to the Resident Evil 3 remake,
Can't say I didn't warn
and I
you.
stream a playthrough of that,
You said the virus
possibly later
turned
tonight,
people into monsters, not reptiles.
Fair point.
you'll see there's a lot of great lines. Like Jill has some really fucking good one-liners in that game, and it's funny. She's like a female John McClane for those familiar with the Die Hard series. So that is going to be fun to get through. That's going to be a fun one. Like, not that this isn't fun to watch. I mean, these games are like very cinematic in nature, so they're very fun to watch. But I feel like
They don't sell the
that one's going to be
monsters.
even more
They
fun
sell
to
the
watch
viruses
because
to
this
make
one
them.
is more of a
The
spook
medicine
house,
makes the
slow,
viruses.
quote
Scary as
unquote,
that
slow
alligator
burn
is.
of a
And that is
game.
far more
And
dangerous.
that one is more just like wham bam, thank you, man, constantly pushing you from one set piece to the next.
Identify yourself.
Ned Birkin.
She's who we're looking for.
Not much time. Need to dispose of it. We're here for the G virus. That's not gonna happen. I'm warning you, Doctor. Oh, yeah?
Hey!
Stop! You'll never get the G virus! Didn't expect that from a scientist. Leon.
Forget about me. Just go. Stop her before she gets away.
I'm right outside.
This section is really cool because
Super event.
you get this. I'm hesitant to call it a weapon because it's not technically a
on
weapon,
her.
but there's this device
Must be
that we're about to use that's going to help us get through this little sections. Like I said in the other stream that I recorded earlier with Claire, it's kind of similar or reminiscent of the detective vision in the Batman Arkham games. It allows you to hack
You
the
can
technology,
run,
like you
Matt.
come here and
But you can't
you'll
hide.
see, like, oh no, this fan's broken and not moving. How do I get it going again? Well, Ada's a super secret, double agent who has all this cool technology. So this is MF says she only gets like a small pistol, this EMF. There's I think there's a flashbang in the next area that you can utilize. Don't want to jump down yet. Almost forgot. So then I gotta turn here. It's best to just run straight through this area. There's nothing on that table over there unless you're playing through the game for the first time. There's an achievement for you collecting every file in the game, and that table has one of those files. Otherwise, that zombie is unnecessary. Dodge him pretty easily. Just by running straight through. Here, I mean, you can do whatever you want. You gotta come back through this area, so it's best to just kind of run around him. There's gonna be a zombie that plops down. I mean, you can choose to kill him right away, or you can do this real quick, which will power up the elevator we just passed up. Run a little bit further. There's some more pistol ammo. Here's that flashbang. So let's kill these guys here. God damn, Piper. He's probably not dead. I'm not gonna waste any more ammo on him. Oh, sweet. So then these flashbangs you pick up. Boom! Doesn't destroy him, but it's still pretty cool to do that. Before, when I go through that section, I go through that section by, as soon as I picked up that flashbang, I would use it to bob in and out of those zombies that were coming at me. Now,
Always been good at
I
running.
do my best to save it for that final zombie that I dodged earlier, so that way when he pops out of the corner, like you saw me do,
Persistent bastard, aren't you?
here comes Mr. X. This is stressful because you got to do all these motions in like such a short span of time. You got to time it just perfectly, otherwise he's going to come after you. He's literally right behind you. Oh. That moment, even as many times as I've played that moment and gotten through it unscathed, it still makes the hairs on the back of my head stand up. Alright, let's see here. coming up after this cinematic is the sewer section where we fight G creatures
This cat and mouse game.
come across the second
Game is over.
G boss, or the
Lost.
Birkin G2 fight, I believe it's
Tell
called.
me, is your husband still alive? Or did you kill him so you could take credit for G?
Interesting theory.
You don't cooperate. I'll get a sample from the nest. Over my dead body. Where's Leon when I need him?
Then we go back to Leon. Now, if I were wearing, see, I'm wearing one of the DLC pre-order, whatever you want to call it, costumes. If I were wearing the normal in-game costume, he would be,
Damn it.
he'd have like bloody bandage wrapped around his arm. It'd be very visible that he just took a shot in the arm.
Ada?
Let's see
Where are you?
here. Here we go.
That's a pleasant smell. What the?
The sound design on, we got to talk about the sound design on this game too. The sounds, like the way the sounds the guns make, or the way the bullets hit the flesh, or the groaning, like the sound, like so much of this game is so perfectly paralleled. All the different systems and mechanics that came together to bring the presentation of the thing that we're watching right now. It's beautiful, how symphonic almost, in a way that it all kind of comes together in perfect harmony. I like those. So there's a small. Sorry, let me backtrack. There's a small section in the Resident Evil 3 remake where you go through a sewer-like area,
Interesting.
and there's these hunter gammas, which are these like weird, like pale, cancerous-looking fish things on two legs that are able to kill you in one shot. So they're kind of like that game's version of the plant creatures, where no matter what you do, once they grab you, the game's over. You're dead. I think I like these sewer creatures better than those sewer creatures, because these things can grab you and fuck you up, but you can at least fight
like the
back.
sound
Like,
of
if
that.
they first grab you, worst comes to worst, if you have a defensive item on you, you can like stab them in the neck with a knife or throw a grenade in their mouth and be fine. Or if you don't, they'll poison you with this like weird like sewage substance, and you just gotta hope that you have a poison like the blue herb is the one you would use for poison. Let me dump some of my stuff in here. Let's get rid of this. I'm not gonna dump you anymore. Dump you. Dump you. Put you here. There we go. You know, at this point, I don't even really. Let's get rid of the subs as well. There we go. And thankfully there's plenty of blue herbs here in the sewer area, so you don't really have to worry. Like even if you do get poisoned for whatever reason, there's plenty of medicine or herbs or whatever you want to call them to help you out with that.
Was that?
Well, there's 3 of these things lurking around. Here. You don't see. This guy's gonna come across right straight ahead. Usually, he doesn't dive underwater and disappear. Usually, he comes at me. So I don't know what the hell that was all about. I'm sure I'll be seeing from him again soon. Let's see, we got a red herb. Let's combine you. I like to, when I pick up when I pick up the puzzle pieces in this section of the game here, I like to pick them up and examine them, because when you pick them up and you just look at them in your inventory, it'll say electronic part. But if you actually go through and you examine the item, it'll come up as king plug. And for me, when I'm doing the puzzle, there's a puzzle that's going to be here in a few minutes that is dependent upon knowing which piece is like which chess piece is which piece. It's nice for me to be able to just pop in my inventory and look real quick, as opposed to having to go through that whole rigmarole of examining it. I mean, I guess it ultimately doesn't really save time in the traditional sense. It's just doing it now versus doing it once you're at the puzzle and you need to utilize the pieces, I guess. Let's see. So there's that. I can hear that creature that disappeared on me already. There he is. I think there's one. Yeah, there's one more that's gonna pop up. Oh, whoops. Almost went the wrong way. Come on, big son of a bitch. You know what I'd like to do a stream of eventually, once my capture card gets here and I can actually start doing a little bit more versatile things with my streaming capabilities. I'd love to do a stream of Aliens Colonial Marines. And I know everyone hates that game, and I know it gets talked so much shit about it, but I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm such a fan of that franchise, and even I could play through that game. Riff Tracks or Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of thing, where we just, you know, I play it and stream it, just make fun of it so fucking bad all throughout. I feel like that'd be a fun one to do.